Welcome to Saturday's first video. Firstly, we will have a look at Debrecen, Gabriel Mikhail's public meeting in Mekelle. And there he said that an agreement had been reached regarding resumption of basic services in Tigray. Between Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government, was this agreement reached, or the agreement was between Tigray regional government and some foreign diplomats who traveled to Tigray? And he also made a mention of Western Tigray, delivery of fuel, delivery of aid. What did he say? We'll have a detailed look at Debrecen's public appearance in Mekelle on Friday. Secondly, viewers, a UN inquiry commission which was formed last year to investigate human rights abuses committed during Tigray conflict visited Ethiopia. More than a week ago, the commission was not allowed to visit Tigray, but yesterday Tigray regional government confirmed that a meeting was held, virtual meeting. It's saying between the commission and Tigray President Debrecen Gabriel Mikhail. What was discussed in the meeting? What is Tigray's position? Tigray raised three important points in the meeting between Debrecen Gabriel Mikhail and UN investigators. Thirdly, a new story from Horo Gudurru, Valega, Ethiopian National Defense Force has shared some pictures of OLA fighters. Government claims, ENDF claims that these OLA fighters have been captured. One has surrendered and dozens have been killed in an operation. And lastly, there's a new story from Eritrea. Several viewers have been sharing with me their reports, their information about some roundups, detentions in Eritrea. They say in a town of Eritrea, 2 days ago, Eritrean military rounded up several youth and Eritrean military fired at some locals too, and at least 2 youth were injured. What is happening there? Is there any truth in these rumors, in these reports shared by some Eritrean viewers? Firstly, viewers, first news story is from Mekelle, Tigray's capital. Debrecen Gabriel Mikhail held a public meeting. He listened to public complaints there. People spoke. They spoke about their dire living conditions, about lack of food. They raised several important points. Debrecen there announced that, first point, he announced that an agreement had been reached regarding resumption of basic services in Tigray. He did not elaborate upon this thing, who are the parties to this agreement, where were talks held, when will basic services be restored, no details. He just said an agreement has been reached. On Thursday, Meles Alam, Ethiopian foreign ministry spokesperson, held a weekly press briefing. And in that briefing, he said that a detailed study, detailed assessment was required about security, about regulations. And after this detailed study, decision can be made regarding restoration of basic services in Tigray. But Debrecen said an agreement had been reached. So who are the parties between which this agreement was reached? No clarification, no detail shared by Debrecen Gabriel Mikhail. We know that a few days ago, more than a week ago, foreign diplomats from EU, US, UN, Canada, Italy traveled to Tigray. Before that, they held meeting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. They returned, and Tigray handed over a security guarantee to these foreign diplomats that if federal workers work in Tigray for restoration of basic services, these workers will be given security their security will be ensured. And then the diplomats went back from Tigray to Addis. Addis was angry with the foreign diplomats that they came back with the security assurance from Tigray. And then we saw a statement of Ridwan Hussain, who said that enabling environment was required before resumption of basic services. And then on Thursday, Meles Alam doubled down on Ethiopian government's position. So hopefully, let's hope that Debretsian's comments are correct, that an agreement has been reached. He further said that Tigray is in touch with diplomats and US government, and US diplomats will clarify to Tigray why is that resumption of basic services has not been done by the government so far. It seems there were talks between Tigray government and foreign diplomats about resumption of basic services, and then African Union around 24 hours ago in a statement said that there was some direct engagement between Tigray and Ethiopian Tigray regional government, Ethiopian federal government. So things are happening, but both sides are not sharing details. Don't know why they are hiding details. Maybe they want to hide it because they think that talks could collapse if beforehand things are announced. So they are waiting for some concrete progress made before announcements. But things seem to be happening. These announcements by Debretsian, by African Union indicate that under the table, behind the scenes, things are happening. Let's hope that some decisions are made regarding restoration of telecom, banking, internet in Tigray. Secondly, he talked about fuel delivery to Tigray. He said, yes, fuel supplies are starting to arrive in Tigray. So he acknowledged increased fuel delivery to Tigray. Thirdly, food aid. He said, yes, food aid delivery has improved, but more needs to be done. And he spoke about the key issue, Western Tigray too. He said that in consultation between Tigray government and foreign diplomats, Tigray government agreed that issue of Western Tigray should be resolved in accordance with Ethiopian constitution. All forces should withdraw from Western Tigray. Tigray is of this view that constitutionally Western Tigray is part of Tigray. So when we say that the issue should be resolved constitutionally, it means that the area will be part of Tigray. Overall, Debretsian tried to give hope to the people of Mekelle in yesterday's meeting. He told them that there were hopes that things would improve quickly. But he also voiced some apprehensions as well. He said that international community was putting pressure upon PM Abiy, federal government, but federal government was buying time. Overall, as I said earlier, that things seem to be happening in the background. We could see some announcements after some concrete progress has been made. Secondly, viewers, UN Inquiry Commission traveled to Ethiopia a few days ago. The commission was formed last year by UN Human Rights Council. It is investigating human rights abuses, violations of international humanitarian law, refugee law committed during Tigray conflict since the 3rd of November 2020. Three-member commission was in Addis Ababa. It was not allowed to travel to Tigray. Then commission released a statement. Commission said it needed to visit the places where atrocities were committed. So far, Ethiopian government has not made a decision to grant permission to this commission to visit Tigray. Commission has left Ethiopia now. Tigray issued a statement after the return of this commission. Tigray questioned the impartiality of the commission. That why is that commission was not putting pressure upon Ethiopian government for demanding access to Tigray. And after that, I think yesterday there was a virtual meeting between this three-member inquiry commission and Tigray government. Debretsion was part of the meeting, maybe some other Tigray leaders too. What was discussed? Tigray raised three important points in the meeting with the UN Commission yesterday. Tigray said, firstly, there must be on-site investigations because we know that 2 days ago the Commission extended date of submission of details of human rights abuses. Earlier date was 31st of July. Now 21st of August is the final date for submission of human rights abuses details. Anyone can submit details to this commission, any individual, any entity. 21st August is the last date, but there is no electricity, no telecom, no internet in Tigray. So how can people of Tigray submit such details? That is why Tigray is demanding on-site investigation. And Tigray says there have been massacres committed in Western Tigray as well, which should be visited by the commission. So Tigray firstly said on-site investigation is needed. The commission should visit the places where atrocities were committed. Secondly, it says that the commission should not rely on last year's joint investigation conducted by Ethiopian and Human Rights Commissions. That last year's investigation was rejected by Tigray regional government. Back then, Tigray government said that the investigators did not visit Aksum and several other places, and that was a government controlled investigation. Government did not allow UN investigators to visit all the areas where abuses were committed. So Tigray does not want that investigation to be basis for this new investigation. It wants UN Inquiry Commission to start investigations once again from the 3rd of November 2020. And thirdly, Tigray offered all cooperation with this commission. Let's see, will Ethiopian government grant permission to this commission or not? That remains to be seen. We have seen statements from EU, US envoys 2 days ago. They are urging Ethiopian government to grant permission to this commission. So far, no decision made by Ethiopian government. Thirdly, viewers, the government operation against OLA is continuing. OLA is showing pictures of government soldiers captured by OLA, and Ethiopian National Defense Force is sharing pictures, videos of OLA fighters who have surrendered, who have been captured, who have been arrested by government forces. Yesterday, Ethiopian National Defense Force showed some people on screen. These are from Horo Gudurru. Allegedly, they are OLA fighters and they have surrendered. ENDF said that an operation was conducted in Horo Gudurru, Valaga. Dozens of OLA fighters were killed and wounded, and several were captured, and some surrendered as well. Mutumma Umma is a commander of Oromo Liberation Army. He surrendered reportedly. ENDF says that the man has been part of OLA for some time, but now he has decided to surrender to government forces. Lastly, viewers, Eritrea. Several viewers have shared some details with me of massive roundups which happened in Eritrea in recent days. They claim that Eritrean military is arresting youth in a town, and there was a sort of military action against the people and the youth in that locality. Security forces fired at some locals. 2 youth were injured in that incident. The area where this incident happened, the town, it's on main road which links Asmara Eritrean capital with the southern part of Eritrea. Name of this place where this incident happened is Segeneti. Segeneti is a town on Segeneti Asmara main road, and here, according to some Eritrean activists, Eritrean military launched an operation against locals, against youth especially, and youth resisted, and there was gunfire. In a gunfire reported in a town called Hibo, which is a village basically, two youth were injured who were then taken to a hospital in Asmara. Forces are conducting roundups reportedly for military service for Sava. Youth is trying to evade this conscription. That is what we have been told. As usual, Eritrean government is silent. Problem is that whenever we receive some information about Eritrea, we cannot confirm it. We have no one to talk to. Eritrean government does not respond. The information minister mostly does not respond. So how to verify information? So that is why we have to share the information, which could be false. But since there is no denial from Eritrean government, that is why, and we know that Eritrean government tries to suppress information. So that is why we keep sharing information as we receive. Reportedly, military operation was conducted in Segeneti to the south of Asmara. Two Eritrean youth were injured in this operation. Thank you for watching.